Good morning, all of you. Students, we have completed the chapter number 2, that is nutrition in living organisms, animals and man, in which we have completed the exercise A, B and C also. So, today I am going to explain the questions, answers of questions, exercise D and exercise E. The exercises. At first, question number 1 of exercise D. In question number 1 of exercise D, you have to define, there are two terms that you have to define. The first one is holozoic nutrition and the second one is alimentary canal. The first one, holozoic nutrition. It is the mode of nutrition in which organisms take in food. That means the food is eaten by the organism, food get digested and absorbed, utilized by the organism. This is holozoic nutrition. Once again, the nutrition in which the food is eaten by the organism, get digested in the body, absorbed and get utilized by the organism. This is holozoic nutrition. Second is alimentary canal. It is the long muscular tube in the human body through which food passes after the ingestion. The long muscular tube in the human body through which food passes after the ingestion is known as alimentary canal. Now question number 2. In this question also there are two terms and you have to write the meaning of the terms. The first one is assimilation, and the meaning of assimilation is it is the process of using the absorbed food for producing energy. Assimilation is the process of using the absorbed food for producing energy. The next is rumination. It is the process, especially in ruminants, in which the partially digested food known as cud brought back to their mouth and chewed thoroughly. That process is known as rumination. Again, the process in which ruminants bring back the partially digested food known as cud to their mouth and chew it thoroughly is known as rumination. Now the third question of exercise D. In this question, you have to write the name of the organs that make up the human alimentary canal. As you know, human alimentary canal starts with the mouth and ends at anus. So different parts present in alimentary canal are the first one, buccal cavity, then esophagus, then stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. These are the parts of the human alimentary canal. Now question number 4. State two differences between milk teeth and permanent teeth. Students, as you know that we have two sets of teeth in our lifespan and we have to write two differences between these two sets, milk teeth and permanent teeth. Now milk teeth, they start appearing when a baby is 6 or 7 months old. This is the first point. And the second point for milk teeth is they are 20 in numbers. The first point is they start appearing when a baby is 6 or 7 months old. And second point is they are 20 in numbers. And permanent teeth, they comes out when a child is around 6 years old. This is first point. Permanent teeth come out when a child is around 6 years old. And second point, they are 32 in numbers. Now the next question is Name the 4 types of teeth in the human mouth. There are 4 types of teeth present in human mouth. They are incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Now question number 6. You have to say the function of the incisor teeth and premolar teeth. The function of incisor teeth is to cut the food. The function of incisor teeth is to cut the food, and the function of premolar teeth is to grind the food. Now question number 7. State the role of acid in the human stomach. The acid which is present in human stomach kills the bacteria and provide a medium for the digestion of fat. It provides a medium for the digestion of fat and also kills bacteria. Now question number 8. State the function of bile juice and pancreatic juice in the human digestive system. Bile juice, which is secreted by the liver, and it helps in the digestion of fat. Pancreatic juice, which is secreted by pancreas, helps in the digestion of carbohydrate, proteins, and fat. Now, exercise E, students. In question number 1 of exercise E, you have to draw a neat, well-labeled diagram of human digestive system, and you can draw it. It is given in the book also. Now, in question number 2, you have to justify the statements. 2 statements are given. You have to justify. The first one is crow is an omnivore. Crow is an omnivore because it eats both plant and animal materials. Since crow eats plant and animal materials both, so crow is an omnivore. Now second question, it is said that the mode of nutrition in human being and amoeba is quite similar. Second is, it is said that the mode of nutrition in human beings and amoeba is quite similar. Since both the organism, the food is eaten, that means food is taken in, broken down and get utilized by the body, by the organism. So we can say that the mode of nutrition in human being and amoeba is quite similar. Once again, the food is taken in, get digested, that means get broken down and utilized by the organism. So it can be said that nutrition in human beings and amoeba is quite similar. Now in question number 3, you have to give reasons for the following. Some statements are given and you have to give reason for them. The first one is ingestion of food is difficult without teeth. As you know that teeth help in cutting, chewing and grinding of food. Properly chewed food can be swollen easily and the saliva can also get mixed in it easily. So we can say that ingestion of food is difficult without teeth. Once again, teeth helps in cutting, chewing and grinding of food. Properly chewed food can be swallowed easily and saliva also get mixed in the food easily. So we can say that ingestion of food is difficult without teeth. Second is, if we chew rice or bread for a few minutes, it starts tasting sweet. The saliva, which is secreted in our buccal cavity, contains some digestive juices that break down starch to form sugar. So, if we chew rice or bread for a few minutes, it starts tasting sweet. Once again, the saliva, which is secreted in the buccal cavity, have some digestive juices which break down starch to form sugar. and that's why if we chew rice or bread for a few minutes, it starts tasting sweet. Now the third one, bacteria are present in the cecum of ruminants. Bacteria are present in the cecum of ruminants to digest the cellulose material of the plant. Cecum is the chamber which is present between small and large intestine, and bacteria present in it helps in digestion of the cellulose particles of plants. Now question number 4, explain how digested food gets absorbed into the blood. The digested food get absorbed by the walls of small intestine. It has a large number of finger-like projections called villi. These villi increase the effective surface area for absorption of digested food, and the absorbed food is passed to blood vessels present in the villi. Once again, the digested food gets absorbed by the walls of small intestine. It has a large number of fingers like projections called villi. These villi increase the effective surface area for absorption of digested food. The absorbed food is passed to blood vessels present in the villi. In this way, food gets absorbed into the blood. Now, in question number 5, you have to state the various processes involved in nutrition in ruminant animals. The process number 1 in the nutrition in ruminant animals, the first one is the ruminants swallow the food quickly and store in the rumen, the largest chamber of their digestive system. The rumen has some microorganisms which digest the cellulose of plant material partially. This is the first process in which the ruminants swallow the food quickly and store in the rumen, the largest chamber of the digestive system. The rumen has some microorganisms which digest the cellulose of plant material partially. The second process, the partially digested food, which is known as cud, brought back into their mouth and get chewed thoroughly, which helps in further digestion. Second process, the partially digested food, which is known as cud, brought back into the mouth of the ruminants and get chewed thoroughly, which helps in digestion. Third process, the chamber between small and large intestine, which is known as cecum, has some bacteria which digest the cellulose particle of the plants, and these are the 3 processes involved in the nutrition in ruminant animals. In question number 6, we have to draw diagrams to show the process of nutrition in amoeba. So I am going to show the diagram. Students, this is the diagram in which the nutrition, different steps of nutrition in amoeba is shown. You have to draw this diagram in the answer of question number 6 of exercise E. So students, we have completed exercise D and E. Note it down in your notebook properly, and thank you. Have a nice day.